All too. All right, we're live.
Yeah, dude.
We are
I
live.
hit
All
the live
right.
button.
Good work,
Yeah,
AJ. Good
yeah.
work, AJ.
I
Well,
told you I'm good at hitting that live button.
welcome one and all. We are back. Mr. AJ Truck Stop Burrito is back after a few week hiatus. Everybody was getting sick of Randy. Thank you for all the letters, emails, and faxes. We listened to everybody. AJ is back,
Yeah.
and the gentleman down below us knows a whole heck of a lot more, and he's going to take us to school while we cap opening day at Tampa Bay. His name is Gary Quill. You know him from Twitter. He does a lot of things much more versatile than my partner. He writes for the writing. He writes for the Racing Biz. He actually also co-hosts his own podcast called the Better Betting Podcast, and he's also the paddock announcer for Taconium. And what did you refer to yourself as before the show, Gary?
I am the Maggie Wolfendale of the Big T, Timonium. I, I hang out at the paddock and give my pontifications on horses and sometimes even talk about their flesh. Oh, carrying great flesh, dappled out. And,
That's
every
stuff.
horse seems to be that in one race or two. But no, it's a lot of fun doing that because just like this show, Timonium doesn't take itself serious. It knows what it is. It's a fair meet, and that's the cool thing. They let us have a lot of fun with it, and it's real relaxing. So thanks for the
It's
plug.
a,
Been doing it for a few years.
as they say, it's a bull ring, right? Down there.
Yeah, that's the bull ring. They'll have like a mile race, and it's funny when they start off, they got to go around like 3 times, and you'll see all the fair people. Oh, the horse, my horse it won, and it's like, no, they have to go around again.
Because I'm sure you have a lot of first just people there at the fair and just watch and watching. They don't know what the hell's going on.
Oh, definitely. And that's the cool thing, they're all about getting the family involved, maybe pick up a few hardcore degenerates, future degenerates through the fair. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. And actually, Timonium was the first track that my dad, I'm like a 5th generation horse racing degenerate.
Wow.
That's where I first saw my first horse race almost 55 years ago, I guess.
Right. Well, this summer I'm headed down. I couldn't make it this past year, and I just this summer
Cool.
hot dogs are on me. But as
It was
Steve said,
was on this show that I learned of Timonium's existence.
Oh, there you
a couple of
go.
weeks
Yes.
ago.
Yeah.
There you go, AJ.
Yeah.
Yes,
Broaden your
that is
horizons.
accurate. We teach, we learn. Every once in a while, we might hit some track, hit some picks. And Steve actually said that the Big T is his the OTB is his favorite place. So
Oh, it's a really nice OTB down there. You should just come down for that one day. It's open year round. OTB, good setup, good food too.
cool. Well, definitely, maybe we'll make a DGen. DGen are too busy going to Keeneland and Churchill and Delmar. Maybe we've got to go where the people are. Ride the Ferris wheel and bet on horses at the same time. Well, we got a very exciting card that we're going to go over. Late pick 4. It is the opening day at Tampa Bay, one of my favorite tracks. Personally, because Tampa has a lot of my Delaware horses and Delaware jockeys, so I know a little bit about them. But we'll see where we go. But yeah, opening day at Tampa is going to be a special event as always. We're covering race 6, 7, 8, and 9, and believe it or not, AJ, we're going to be doing turf races, and they're going to be on the turf.
Wow.
Gary, we have
There'll be a flash flood come in, and
we have this
thing will get
tendency.
rained
We had
out.
like 2 months where
There is no possible way.
we're like, well, everything's going to be scratched, but let's just do our picks anyway. Because we'd be doing Delaware or Parks and just bad weather. But well, we're starting at race 6. We're going to be going 7 furlongs And AJ, you want to start us out or you want me to?
You go ahead.
All right. Race 6. I only went 2 deep here. We're going 7 furlongs on the Tampa Bay Dirt. I really like this too. If I had my druthers, I may have singled it, but I really like Candy Jar. It's a former mod horse, ran a nice last race in August, like the dropping class, and as I like to say, he's got a razor sharp workout. Uh, and some say pace makes the race, which it does, but also class makes the race. This is the top in class, and it top in power. I'm going to cover myself a little bit with the 8. I don't think we're going to see a price in this race. I've got a couple price plays a little bit later on. I do like the 8. He's got a nice little bit of a late kick, and I do like that drop in class as well. Thank you, Mikey P. Yeah, I got crap for my Georgia shirt the other day, so I had to break out a UK shirt. But Gary's sporting Ravens colors, Mike. I don't know if you're a Ravens guy down there or the team formerly known as the Redskins. But
Dude, you can't say that word.
I said the team formerly known as the Redskins.
Yeah, but then you still said Redskins. You can't say that.
Okay. Well, anyway,
that's
I just went too deep here. 2 and 8.
All right. So I want to first say I lived not very far from this track for many moons in my life, and it can downpour there at any point in time.
Like
so let's not get our hopes up just yet. when this race goes off and it's not raining, then I will believe that that the next one might still be on the turf. Also, apparently, in my absence for 2 weeks, you guys stopped just really introducing the race at all because, this being a maiden special weight for 26K, I thought maybe it might have been important information to people out there. Couldn't you talk about dropping class and all this stuff? At least they'd like to know what the class of the race is we're talking about. I get it. I haven't been here. Things have gone down.
Your sarcasm, and that's why the rate. That's why the last 2 shows we got in under a half an hour.
I've watched them. They've been terrible. But
so what's the condition of the race, AJ?
Well, this is a 26K maiden special weight for 3-year-olds and up. It is 7 furlongs. We are on the dirt. Just little information I just thought was important. But anyway. I digress.
You have a
for those who can't read. For those who can't read a program.
Tom, I did take your 2, and I do have the 8 as well. I did take one other one, but that 2, the numbers just look far and away above what the rest of this field looks like. I am a little nervous that he's no longer in Mott's barn, but look, numbers are there. This horse is bred well for the dirt. 2-1. I can't leave it off a ticket. The 8 I like as well. Just back off of that layoff for the first time. And this looked like a horse that they were clearly expecting some big things with up in Monmouth, starting it off at a pretty high price tag there. And then now comes down, maybe just trying to get the win, get him a race back, but 4-1, I'll take it. And then I'm going to take the 6-1. High Tech is back, who was, I thought looked like the numbers looked pretty good. They came back after the long layoff at Laurel and pretty much just jogged the second half of that race. So now coming back to this one, I think this is where we might see this horse break out a little bit. 6-1. I will take every bit of it. So 2-6-8 for me.
All right. It's interesting because I think at least one of us will get out of the first leg of the pick 4 because
is it you?
I probably not. we after my picks and the 2 or the 8 or the 6 when we can all forget about what I said in the other 3 races. But I kind of took a stand against the horse that obviously 2-1 morning line Candy Jar. Classic seconditis, 4 seconds out of 8 starts. got to go 7 furlongs on the dirt. 2 things the horse has never done in his previous 8 starts. Yeah, the numbers stack up that way, but they're all on turf. I'm just looking for some prices here, and I kind of came up with the 9 horse, 10-1 morning line CC's April Hottie. Been running long on the turf, been on the turf. Gets reunited with Jose Bautista last January, ran 6 furlongs in a 40,000 maiden claimer, ran second at 30-1. So the horse obviously took to the Tampa dirt. And I think there's enough speed in here. High Tech is going to go out. Probably the 10 horse morning cocktail will also go out. Keep things busy on the front end. And I think the 9 CC's April Hottie might have enough closing kick to get the extra furlong since they're going 7. So the 9 is my top pick at a price of 10-1. I'd probably also use the 5 horse Magna Colors, one start on the dirt, going 6 furlongs, ran behind 3 next out winners, and it doesn't look all that great on the running line, 4th by 15, but the winner won by 14. So the 2nd and 3rd place horses came back to run. So that's another one that's not going to be part of the pace. And then just throw in for good measure the outside horse, the 10 morning cocktail. Probably should have broke its maiden in the slop at Finger Lakes back in August, but kind of all the way on the outside, broke out, lost a lot of ground early, and was used up to get position. So they're the 3 horses at decent odds that if
They are odds.
If the 2 doesn't show up or can't go the distance, maybe I start off the pick 4 with a nice price.
That's right, and I think that you were very creative there. And shit, if none of us make it out alive, then we got to find another line of work. But yeah, that was good insight, Gary.
That being said, I'll take the 3, the 1, the 4, and the 7.
Everybody we didn't mention.
Yeah.
True.
Well, hey, that's what makes it exciting. You hate to have 3 hosts all on the same horse, right?
Exactly.
So, give everybody something to think about.
Well, it's fine to run the same horse if it's the winner.
Oh, that's
True.
definitely
True. All right. Since you do such a good job introducing the races, AJ, why don't you do the honors?
I can do that. So race number 7, the second leg of this pick 4 sequence. We are going a mile and 16th. And as of right now, pending a Tampa flash flood, we are still on the turf. This is a 28K allowance race for 3-year-olds and up. How about Gary, you want to start us?
Sure.
We never have the guest start us.
Oh,
You gotta change it up. Why not?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
No, love to start off. Okay, so somehow here I landed on another 10-1 shot. The 6 horse Arena. I'm looking at once again a pace scenario, and that's the thing about betting a first day of opening day card.
Oh, it's tough.
You really don't know how
dartboards
playing, if it's speed favoring the rail, whatever. So just kind of following the pace scenarios here, and I believe it should be a pretty swift pace. Majority of horses in here like to be on the lead or close to it. And I went with the 6 Zarina because she's a closer. One of the famous angles, my favorite angle that I always talk to my podcast partner, Eric Rubin, about is second time blinkers. Second time blinkers, for whatever reason, has worked for me in finding decent prices. Doesn't always mean the horse wins, but they always show an improvement. And the horse ran on the new Gulfstream Park synthetic, ran 3rd by 2 lengths. But I go back to the December over 11 months ago when this horse ran at Tampa Bay, same condition, nice closing kick, was 7 wide, so maybe a better trip, and can get the job done at a decent price. And another horse in there, I think the one might be a monster B up. The horse was scratched from September Jockey Club Oaks at Belmont, going a mile and 3/8 on the turf. You gotta love trainer Jonathan Thomas, his turf horses, and I've always been a fan of Augustin stable horses. And Danny Santano, you can't go wrong, as you know, Tom. Dynamite jockey.
So 1-6, Gary.
Yeah, I got 1-6.
Excellent.
Or 6-1, whatever.
Gotcha.
1-6.
We put them up. We put them up.
Okay,
numerically.
in numerical order.
In numerical. So we'll put them up
All right.
tomorrow.
Sounds good.
All right. I do like your one. I do like that one, Gary. I saw that horse break its maiden at good old Delaware Park. He is a good turf horse. And yeah, with Danny in the irons, I think the guy used to own Tampa. I mean, it still does. He owned Tampa for years. He's going back down there now, and he's going to be the wise, the elder statesman down there.
Yeah.
And he had a nice race at Colonial. The last race. It's a good turf horse, and like you said, Thomas on the turf. I'm loving it. I also have the 3 here, Pugilist, another good turf horse. Knows this track. Turf, a horse for courses, as they say. He's hit the board 4 out of 5 times. Horses. I think this horse is pretty live. And I went 3 here deep. The 7, tonal verse. I like the added equipment. It's running in better company before, and again, Graham Motion on the green. I'll take that, especially at that price. It can't hurt. Graham isn't what he used to be, but he still has a couple tricks up his sleeve. So I did 1-3-7.
Right on. Well, there's 2 horses in here that no one's talked about yet. I love the 6. I'm on the 6 as well. I like the 1. I'm on the 1 as well. And the 2, no one talked about until Dennis came in at the very last second and stole my thunder in the comments.
Well,
was the 8.
No. The 2?
No, the 8.
Oh.
The $800,000 horse that ran at Saratoga one time for Bill Mott, and then was off of almost a year and came back as it's 2 turf efforts. One was at Kentucky Downs, it was a lot farther than what we're going to see now. And I don't really like to really take into a lot of consideration how Kentucky Downs goes, just because they only run there for 2 days a year.
It's a funky track. Yeah,
it's a weird track. But the one effort it did have at a mile up at Arlington in the 31K allowance race for the 3-year-olds looked very good. Then they went to Kentucky Downs, then they tried the dirt, won on the dirt. Now they come back here to Tampa, mile and 16th. I mean, obviously, this is $800,000 purchase. I don't know how many outside of Bill Mott horses. I'm not sure how many $800,000 horses run on Tampa turf. I mean, I guess some do. But when you see a price tag like that and you see Tampa and you see Bill Mott was formerly of this horse, it all comes together to me that there's an equation there that I know people like to use on the other tracks. So, yeah, Dennis, good call. I'm on that one as well. So I did take the 8, and then I went 4 deep here because I just like a lot. There's a lot of these ones. I went with the 4 too. Classy Woman, and I think she's classy here at Tampa because when she ran here at the end of last year and then early this year, she looked very good on this Tampa turf. In races all very similar to this one, especially at a mile and 16th. Won one of these just back in February. Comes back to Tampa, horse for the course. So I took the 4 as well at 5-1.
All right. So you have 1, 4, 6, 8?
6-8. Yep.
All right. Cool. Yeah, that good luck with that horse, that 8, guys. That's pretty good angle that you came up with. I like it. I hope it doesn't win, but it's a good angle.
Right.
And I do like the jock back in irons too on that 8. But all right, let's move right along to race 8. You be Ricky Henderson, AJ.
All right. So, race 8. This is a 6-furlong race. We are now going back to the dirt. It is a $6.5 thousand or $6,500, depending on how you like to say that. Claimer for 3-year-olds and up. Tom, would you like to start us off this time?
I'd love to.
Okay.
Race 8. I am going to start with the 1. Courting a Song. I don't like that name. I think it would not be problematic for Beamer, but it could be problematic for some track announcers. Anyway, I'm throwing out that last race that Court had. I think that before that he was running like he was owning. He was the boss. I think that Gomez is back. That Gomez is back in the irons. One with him, and one with him before, and has a nice workout just not that long ago. So I like the 1. I also went with the 7, Nick the Card Shark. Had a heck of a last race. Weakened at the end a little bit, but he was straightening it out. He's kind of just straightening it out. Has a pretty significant drop in class. I do like the layoff. Delgado is one of those trainers that has that's good. That knows what he's doing, and with the layoff, and there's a reason for it, and it's to put him in the first race here at Tampa Bay. So I just went small, 1-7.
All right. Well, I have got 2 here. I'm not sure how I want to play this. I'm hoping I get like a scratch in another race, so I feel more comfortable going like deeper here, because my ticket's gonna get way too expensive if I do. So I feel like I need to play Nick's Card Shark, but I don't want to. If that makes sense. So he may or may not be on my ticket. Probably will be, because at the end I'll be a pussy and take the 3-1. But the other 2, the one that's gonna be on my ticket for sure is going to be the 6. You Should Be So Lucky. I like every time this horse is on the dirt, it seems to put up a pretty solid effort. And that includes one time here at Tampa not that long ago, where it won a very similar race. It was in the slot, but has won over this Tampa dirt track before, has raced a ton at Gulfstream, Monmouth. It's been kind of all over. The one that impressed me the most was the more recent one at Monmouth in that 12K claimer, getting second up there, 8-1. Like this horse a lot. That one is for sure going to be on my ticket. And then I cannot decide how risky I'm going to be, because might include the 5 Cliffy. I like Cliffy. I like this little 4-year-old here. I've seen this horse run up in New York earlier this year against the claimer class up there of Imperial D and Joyce Yap Zaz and Great Dansky, who every time there's a claiming race, those are the same 3 horses that are in all those races. So he's raced up there with the likes of them, was fairly competitive. It's hard. I think getting the win at Monmouth is what gives me the confidence in this horse. And then they switched over to the turf, and then now we're going back to the dirt. So 20-1. Yeah, I might take a shot with that one.
The 5. Okay. All right. So 6-5 or 5-6.
6-5, 6-5 or 6-7. I don't know yet.
Okay. All right, GQ.
In this race, this type of race, I really like the way that the makeup is, especially these cheap open claimers, because you have horses coming out of beaten claiming races, non-winners of 2, 3, 4 other than, and I always seem to lean toward horses who have been competing in open claiming ranks. And the ones that fit the bill there are your number one horse, Court Song. Court Song, yeah, he's coming out of a 5,000 maiden claimer at Presque ran down at Mountaineer on 2 off tracks at 7,500. He's just, all these horses been around the track dozens of times.
59 times.
Right, exactly. And Court Song, for what it's worth, last time he came out of the one hole, he went gate to wire, even though it was going 2 turns at Presque. But still, I think he's got enough early speed that if Villa Gomez gets him out, he may not look back. Another horse that fits the bill as far as coming out of open claiming is a 15-1 shot, the 8 Gemo or Gemo. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I mean,
I think the G is silent. I think it's just emo.
Emo.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go with AJ's emo.
Of course, he would know that.
Millennial
that he is.
But look at this horse, and the trainer's 1 for 22 for the year. Not a lot of encouraging stats on the trainer line in the statistics, regardless if you follow the DRF or Brisnet or whatever your preferred PPs are. But he's been running an open claiming down at in South Florida. Ran halfway decent once again, not bet on 34-1. Kind of ran so, ducked in at the break, improved, which is encouraging. First start after a little layoff, coming off of a race that just stopped because the horse bled. So maybe second time out, further improvement, and just for the reasons I said, everybody else is coming out of a conditional type of race. And they're obviously a little easier. Yeah, some of them were dropping down. But just wanted to give a shout out to the 11 Wild Winter. Not often we see horses with 108 starts these days. An 11-year-old.
Good for you. I like it. Shout
looks
out
like
to
a
Wild
standard
Winter.
bred.
I'll tip my cap. That is and he's got his picture taken 13 times. It's something.
So for keeping a ticket manageable, I just went 1-8 in here.
Cool.
And also interesting about the 11 in the last 2 years, 1-0 versus Nick the Card Shark.
Oh, there you go.
At Tampa.
Hey, thank you.
I just seen that. And I was like, oh wow.
Tom's ticket is not looking too hot. We keep shooting down his top picks.
I'm used to it. That's fine. I'm used to it. He does it all the time. Because anyway, all right, we're moving right along. Dennis did make a point about my one too. My one horse, I should say, won at Mountaineer, so it's not exactly like winning at Churchill. But all right, race 9, moving right along. We're going back to the green, and Mr. Conditioner, why don't you tell everybody about the importance of this race?
Yeah, well, as Tom mentioned, as of right now, we are on the turf pending crazy Florida weather, which keep it in mind because it happens. This race is a mile, the final leg of this pick 4 sequence that everyone in the world is going to be playing on Tampa Bay opening day. It's for 3-year-olds and up, and it's for $16,000, and it is a claiming race.
$16,100.
It says $16,000 on mine, so that $100 must be a typo on yours.
Must be.
Craig Nowakowski and Timeform are never wrong. Everyone knows that.
Well, why don't you tell us who you got there, AJ?
I don't want to though, because I don't.
Well, that's not. It's not. That's not an option. Gary, why don't you?
No, I got it.
Everybody's tuning in to
yeah.
hear AJ doesn't like any horse in the last.
Yeah, well, that's
we
every
will
time
hear
on this show.
about horse
Every
everything he
time on
doesn't
this
like.
show. Every time on this show, we get to the last race of the sequence, and let me just do the pick 3 for the first 3 races, and like I'll forget about
that's why these tracks put these type of races in the last sequence.
Oh, I understand they don't want me to win money.
Yeah, it's just like throw darts.
Yeah, which is
it's the tallest little person in the circus race. Like,
so that being said, I like the 4 Independence Law, but I feel like it's a trap. Like, this is, when you get two really a really good football team and a shitty football team, and then they make the line like 2.5, and you're like,
it makes too much sense.
Something's up here. Yeah, that's what it feels like. So I just feel like it's a sucker play, but this isn't football. This is horse racing, and Daniel's on this horse. Got a lot of trust in that guy, so I'll include it. The prices I'm going to try to get are going to be the 3 Beauty Genius. I'm really always intrigued by a young horse who has a lot of time off to see how they come back and see how they mature, especially a horse that's been competitive, especially in a race that very similar to this one, back in April. Then runs a solid number when they bump him up in class a little bit. And then I get all this time off. It's a 3-year-old. This 3-year-old, I would imagine, is matured. Hopefully will have matured enough where it can come out and get every bit of that 6-1 for the morning line. The other one I went with was Lexophilia, which I'm not sure what that's a fear of. Probably betting Lexingtonian if I had
fear of
Lex Luthor.
The fear of Lex Luthor or supervillains from comic books who do
possibly.
Maybe. And again, I went back to this horse just because I've seen this horse run a lot of good races here over the Tampa turf. Broke its maiden in a maiden special weight here at Tampa. Came back, broke its maiden in a maiden claimer here at Tampa. Then came back, ran a solid second in a race just like this, and then was through after half in an allowance race here. So, and then hasn't ran here since. Went up to Monmouth, did some stuff up there. But I like this 10-1 coming back to Tampa, where I think it feels comfortable, where it's ran well. I know it's ran well. It's proven it's ran well. So I'll take the 10-1 as well. So I went 3, 4, 5.
3, 4, 5. All right. GQ, you can go, and then I'll wrap things up.
I can't argue with, like AJ said, the 4 Independence Law is the one that makes sense, but they're all 9 winners of 2. This filly's done its best work at this distance in getting to the point of breaking its maiden, going a mile. Not sure why it's been off since the end of August. Maybe the trainer typically is just a Colonial Downs trainer and ships to Presque Isle and then does the winter time at Tampa. So maybe it's just all part of the plan. Give the horse some time off. Outside of being Captain Obvious with the 4-horse Independence Law, kind of like the 6-horse 15-1 morning line Sydney Sue, simply because I lean on the Brisnet speed figures on turf. Yeah, even though it was at a sprint, 2 races back when it broke its maiden, going 6 furlongs on Laurel turf. That was an 86 Brisnet number, which is best in this group. Independence Law topped out at an 80. And I think the horse should be able to stretch out to the mile. If you go back to when it tested going 2 turns at Penn back early in its career in June, didn't fare too well. But then again, something obviously was wrong with the horse because they brought it back at 5 furlongs and stopped as well. Has been progressing well since then. So I think at 15-1 and a decent price, where if you think this is truly a trap race, why not use a 15-1 in your pick 4? So I'd go 4-6 here.
Cool. Well, I like the 4. Everybody didn't, but just shout out to my guy Danny, who may or may not be watching. Told him that we are going to be giving him plenty of shout outs tonight, so don't want to exasperate everything you guys said on the 4. And I do like the 6, as Gary said,
and so does Dennis.
As Dennis said too. I mean, you can win on that Laurel turf. You can win anywhere. What I find, the one last, and Gary, you broke down the 6 perfectly. But in the one thing that I find interesting, and that's why I love horse racing, the 4 and the 6 are coming to this race totally differently. You had mentioned the 4 kind of just very, it's just a trainer that, okay, I'm laying off because, hey, I'm up here in the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic. Turf racing's kind of crappy right now. I'm going to wait and I'm going to place him there. The 6, man, he's been racing. The total opposite. He's been boom, boom, boom. He's raced like 3 or 4 times since the last time the 4 race. Just not necessarily a capping angle, just how different trainers attack different races is always interesting to me. And I wound up with I did go 3 here, which it may be a waste of my money. I think those 2 horses have the best chance to win, but I do kind of like this 10. And it's, again, just I love turf racing so much, but the problem I find is I fall in love with turf horses, and this 10 won last time out, won at Monmouth. I know, AJ, you and I have talked about it plenty of times, and there's still not enough data to figure out, hey, Monmouth, the whips, does it matter? Does it not? Does it matter? Does it not? I think there's only one season of data thus far, and sometimes they come out of Monmouth great, sometimes they don't. I know when we first started doing our show, Gary, AJ, and I were kind of laying off the Monmouth horses because you don't know what they're doing. But as they're progressing, we're seeing more and more. Oh yeah, they won at Monmouth, and hey, they won again at Pimlico or Laurel or Delaware, and saying on it. So yeah, this 10 won impressively up there on the green. So I went 4, 6, 10. I went 3 here. Yeah, kind of.
If 4 doesn't win, one of us is losing.
Yeah, that's true. That's good deduction. Good work. I've got that. We did that relatively smooth, guys. And we've got Thanksgiving coming up. With that said, I have a quick Thanksgiving game for us, and we can wrap up by the Triple Clowns. We love our goofy games. So for Thanksgiving, it's a big football time of year. And a lot of family get-togethers. And I'm going to ask AJ this first because he knows better than anybody. In a backyard football game with the Triple Clowns, who's the Triple Clowns and their extended family? Who is the most competitive clown? Who will not be happy unless they win that touch football game in the backyard at Thanksgiving?
Well, everyone who's not on my team would be unhappy because we would win that touch football game. Whoever's on my team, I think that goes without saying. But I think who would not be happy if they lost?
Yeah,
that's Sarah.
Who would
100%? Sarah. It's 1,000% Sarah.
That's funny.
Sarah like drunk, like text people when like Vertical Threat lost, and like she would go sit out in the car when
very
like Santa Anita.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna say Sarah by like a lot.
Oh, well, I've got a question for you, Gary. Which who would be who would bring the absolutely worst dish to a Triple Clowns Thanksgiving? In the Triple Clowns and extended family.
I can't fashion AJ as knowing his way around the kitchen, so I would have to say that AJ would go to his local supermarket and pick up something to bring.
Okay, but trick question, because the question wasn't who would put the least amount of thought into it. It's who would bring the worst
bring the
thing.
worst
So if
dish.
I'm bringing store-bought food
It would be
items,
good.
they'd probably be pretty good, I would imagine.
Or Oreos or something, I think.
No, you go to like the bakery section of somewhere and get like the good cookies or something, you know.
But would you put it in?
I thought
your
maybe
own...
you'd go to Costco and get dinner rolls.
Are you the guy that gets?
I'd probably get like a cookie platter of some sort.
You get the cookies, but then you put them on your own plate. Be like, oh, hey, I just made these.
No. It would come straight in the store packaging. Yeah, everyone would see how much I bought.
I bother trying to repackage them.
Not even putting that much effort in it.
No. Buy them on the way to where we're going.
Makes perfect sense. Cool. Well, got anything else for us, Gary? When's your do a quick plug for your podcast?
Yeah, the Better Betting podcast with my partner in crime, Eric Rubin. Eric's a New Yorker. We like to dope out the late pick 5 of sequences on a Saturday. We usually tape on a Wednesday or Thursday. And the reason why it's called Better Betting is we try to educate people on putting together tickets that make sense. So we've been at it for about a year. We have interesting guests every once in a while. So maybe one of these times we can have. I know we invited you, Tom. You couldn't make it.
There was that one. Yeah, it was that one time. Yeah, I actually. Yeah.
He's Hollywood though. He doesn't do any of those shows by his own.
Yeah, I know.
We're
B-listers.
Oh, stop it right now. I think it was my anniversary. It was literally my anniversary. I remember.
It was because you said you could, and then all of a sudden, like 2 days before, you're like, "Oh God, I hate to do this, but I promised my wife we'd go out to dinner." So
yeah. No wonder Eric he hasn't gotten back to me. But yeah,
it wasn't like a real anniversary though. It was like the anniversary of the first time they like went to the movies or something.
No, man, we're like
something weird.
We're 23 years. What year is this? We're 21 years in. So it does. I mean, we don't celebrate.
Yeah, so he doesn't even know how long he's been married. You think he left?
Hey, I've been married twice to the same woman. That's a whole other conversation for a whole other podcast. But anyway, just let me know. Give me her birthday already happened and our anniversary happened, so I'm free.
No more special.
But then there's the second anniversary apparently that needs to be celebrated, which will somehow simultaneously coincide with the next time you ask him to be on the show. I'm sure.
Well, and I hang out with Gary at 2 tracks, Delaware, of course, and
Maryland Million Day
at the Maryland Million Day. Yeah, Gary was looking like he was. He, as they say, call him GQ. Sported the you had the Maryland state flag tie, right?
Yes, yeah. And the funny, I have the red coat that if the bugler doesn't show up, they'll like hand me a bugle and think I'll be able to stand in.
Would you try? Would you try at least, or
no? I probably wouldn't even try. I mean, I have this coat. I've got this coat probably 15 years ago. It's just red, basic red coat. I wear it on Preakness Day and Maryland Million Day with my Maryland tie, and
you stand out. You were literally the first person because I had to go back to my car to get my mask. You were literally the first person I saw as I was walking back. I'm like, I saw that jacket like a minute ago on Twitter. There's Gary.
Yeah, that's for sure. But no, thanks a lot for having me on, guys. It was a blast. Love talking ponies and hearing different opinions. It's great. So
we'll have to get AJ down to the Big T and get him on the merry-go-round and that's kind of his speed horse.
Merry-go-round and merry-go-round, so I can pretend like I'm on the horses, and then you go watch the horses.
Exactly. Well, thanks for coming on, Gary, and we got a lot of fun stuff here on the Clowns channel and DGen. Stay tuned. We're always doing our pick shows, our weekly shows. We're going back in time where Randy and I are doing a little something called the Triple Clowns Time Machine. So that stay tuned. That is just doing some editing. Should be out in the next week or so.
It's not a real time machine, though, guys. It's not a real time machine.
I don't know.
The technology hasn't been invented yet, Tom.
Are you doing your football show this weekend, AJ?
Yes, we will be back this week after a 2-week hiatus.
Awesome.
Me having other things I had to take care of. Back.
Life.
Do it. Yeah, life. It gets in the way sometimes of the fun stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Well, good luck, and everybody have a very happy Thanksgiving. Eat a bunch. Drink a bunch. Don't drink and drive. Have fun. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully one of us hit this, or if not, maybe there's a couple guys out there I know who combine the picks. They won't tell me or AJ or our guest. They'll say, okay, well, I like Tom's picking this race. I like AJ's picking this race, and I like the guest race picks in this race. Like Chris, our guy Chris, I think does that a couple times. He'll pick and choose, and he'll hit more than we do.
I do feel like there's quite a few people who comment on this show and say, "Hey, look at I hit it." It's like, oh, okay.
You did better than me. Or they won't do a pick 4. They'll do like a pick 3, and they're like, yeah, I'm not doing that shitty last race. I'm going with they're smarter than we are. But everybody, thanks for joining, and just it's a season to be thankful for. We're thankful for just. I'm even thankful for AJ. We give each other crap, and thankful for our guests. Thanks for everybody for watching. I'm not going to get all sentimental, but yeah, it does.
Seems like you are, though. You can cry.
Thanks,
sir. It's okay.
No. I'll save that for our fans only. For our fans only channel. But everybody, seriously, thank you very much.
OnlyFans, is that what you're going for?
I don't know.
Our fans only channel. How old are you? Jesus.
I'm an old man. I'm an old man. Well, thanks everybody. Have a safe, happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you again soon. Peace out, and just eat your turkey or your tofu, whatever it is you choose. We don't judge.
No judgment here.
Well, actually, we do. Well,
behind your back, 100%, but not to your face.